Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night's Racing here in MRC. Tonight we are in the night race for round 3 of season 13 or season 12. I forget which season it is now. Anyway, round 3 in Singapore. The night race, the first night race that was ever hosted in Formula 1, and now it's become a bit of a fashion trend. But the first and original night race was here at the Marina Bay Circuit. And tonight, you do not have to just put up with me, because I am graced in the comments box with a man who knows this circuit better than anybody else. So much so that he is even nicknamed the Singapore Slut. But today he will be the King-a-Paw of Marina Bay. This is Red Car of Rambo, also known as Ryan. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are we? You good?
I cannot take you serious calling me that.
Wait, which one?
King of Paul.
That's your new name, mate, King-a-Paw. That's a poor joke, but you are a king. Anyway, this is a track which separates the men from the boys. In this case, you're the man and I'm definitely the boy. It's a track that kills tyres, kills wings, and kills careers if your name's Felipe Massa. But, yep. But ultimately, it always provides an exciting race. From moments at turn 1 between Verstappen, Alonso, Hamilton, Raikkonen and Vettel, to crazy qualifying laps from the likes of Lewis Hamilton. This is a track that brings drama and crazy intense performance throughout the race weekend. Tonight we have the Tier 2 boys kicking off with the real action, and I'm sure from this dry qualifying session a few people will be happy. But will it be raining in the race? Let's see if anyone lets us know later.
I hope it doesn't rain for them, because it's not the best.
It rained for us on Friday.
It's not that, I can't imagine how tough that was.
Yes, in the rain, this is arguably one of the toughest tracks in F1 to put up with.
Absolutely. And
I mean, we briefly touched on it, but this is a track that is a real test of a car, and it's not a nice test either. Let's be honest, it's a hard track to master at the best of times, but it just kills your tyres. One lap and they're done. Doesn't matter whether it's a hard or soft. One lap and they are spent.
Yeah.
Oh, good news for those who are interested. It's a dry race, dry race for everyone who's caring or worried. Fear not. So, there's been a couple of renditions of this track. There's still 2 versions. One version which we're used to, which has the old final sector. Oh, Eddie Dust deciding he doesn't want to drive around the track the normal way, so we'll find someone else to watch on stream.
Aston Martin.
Yeah, it'll be Bit. Yep. And then there's a new section which Bit is currently in now, which is just a straight line instead of adding 4 or 5 corners. It's a shame. The old section was better. But, Ryan, do you want to take us through a lap with McBitty in the Aston?
I'll make you.
Try your best.
I'm not the best at this, so coming down into turn 1, you're going to be braking at the black box. You can hook the curb there, you can hook the curb there, look nice and tight, early on the power, and away you go through Memorial Corner. Brake just where the curb starts on the left, and you don't want to do that at the moment, because you will end up in the wall. Oh God, I've got something stuck in the throat. At this corner, I brake just before the black box, nice and slow. Swing it over, quick dab on the brakes, and towards the Singapore sling you go. Coming up to the bridge section. A little bit wide there from there. You want to brake just where the bridge starts to curve, back around onto the DRS straight, and you're going to get quite a few overtakes here. Now, in the new section here, because it's quite wide. I thought it would have been thinner, and coming now to the final corner, a quick dab on the brake, nice and steady, and there is your lap, and that's not a bad lap for a banker.
Not bad at all. Boothie pops in our lap. He's reserving again. 3 races in a row. He's got himself a reserve seat, so he's clean, keen, and improving like a runner bean. Now then, another reserve today is B17. He's in P4. Hello to B17, doing something off track. Who else is reserving today? I think that might be everyone. Oh no, it's not. I do apologise. Doris, who actually won on Friday on MICX, believe it or not.
That's a bloody good time.
And he's on a 30.5. He, in qualifying on Friday, did 29.7. So there's your reference point. 29.7 is what he did, what I did, and Saviour was also on that sort of pace on Friday. So that is what we expect from the likes of Doris, Hoseman, Fox, Remax. Maybe even a certain Kyle Bergen.
I think he doesn't really give himself the credit, Bergen.
He doesn't. He's a better driver than he believes.
He chews himself up. But he's a very good racer. He likes Monaco, so I can't see why he doesn't like Singapore.
Yeah, he was a good teammate to me for 2 years. He's been a good support for yourself as well for a good few years as well. So
yeah,
we both know him better than most. And Wumax, mind you, in the AlphaTauri goes P9 and then takes a very interesting line across turn 1, 2, 3. That won't do you any favours. DRS Julian, by the way, is the only man on a medium tyre. Everyone else is out there on softs.
The thing is, if you mess a corner, you may as well just abandon your lap because you're not getting it back.
No.
Not in Singapore. It's really tricky.
It is. Another tricky thing about this track, the pit entrance and exit. The pit entry's tight and slow. The pit lane's super slow. The pit exit, I think, is the worst pit exit in Formula 1.
Do you think? I kind of like this one.
It's just where it feeds you out into the first 3 corners. It feeds you out on the apex of turn 3.
Maybe I'm just biased.
You just love this track. That's what it is. Is this your favourite track? Honestly, is it? Because that's the vibe.
I absolutely love Singapore.
What do you love about it? What particularly grabs you about this track?
The nature of it. You got to concentrate. You've got to bang on your laps. I don't know.
No rest at all then, basically, just constantly on it.
Yeah, I like how it kind of forces you to concentrate.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's a technical circuit.
I like the nice tight corners, I like the walls.
It's just a faster, slightly more open Monaco then.
Oh yeah, I love Monaco as well.
I know this. And I get the impression... I get the impression that your favourite former driver who loved Monaco as well would also have loved this track. That's the impression I get.
Absolutely.
Senna would have loved Singapore.
Absolutely. I think he'd have got a few wins at this track.
Indeed. Now, someone who I'm tipping to have a good race today is Thomas Fanning, back after a week's ban. He's in the Alfa Romeo. He's just pitted as I was jumping on board with him, which is annoying. I believe that even though he's not a fan of street tracks, does like the technical twisty circuits, it should suit him.
Yeah. I think partly the reason I like this as well is the backdrop.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful city.
The way the colours just pop under the lights is just it's just a good track.
Yeah, I agree. You can overtake here, you've got to pick your moments as well, so it is actually a good track to race at and a fun track to drive, so if you set your car up well, you manage your tyres well, you can attack and fight here.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot more opportunity than Monaco.
Definitely. Now then,
Gaston. Like,
go ahead.
It's kind of like Baku, in a way.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Not as fast as Baku, but...
I prefer the old sector to this one.
What about the old Singapore Sling, the 3-corner arrangement, as opposed to the 1-corner layout we've got now?
Well, I like this one now, as it is.
Let's jump on board with DRS Julian. So he's just coming into that section now. He's giving us a little weave. He knows he's on stream. He loves a little weave. So now it's just a long left-hander with a single curve on the inside. That used to be a left-right-left.
Yeah,
And it was a
but
bit
I tell
clumsy,
you
and we
what,
saw people crashing far too easily there.
if your tyres go off, then it's not just a left. It's a
No, it's
left and
not.
a barrier.
Yeah, exactly, spot
You've got
on.
to be really careful still.
It's a weird track this, so the tyres going off, as you mentioned there, it's a weird one. The tyres normally on every track, you can get 60, even 70% and they're still good as gold. Here, the tyres hit 30% and that's it, they're done. Once the tyre hits 30 to 40%, you need to consider your life choices because if you're on the tyre that's got that life and there's someone behind you, you'll pray that's going to get taken.
Yeah, I think that's just the high humidity that Singapore has.
Indeed. I think you're right. Tyre temperatures here are so hard to keep in the sweet spot.
Oh yeah, you've
And
got to be nice and slow on your outlap as well.
indeed, you won't
If you
see
want to
too
get
many
the
people
best.
weaving. And of course, do expect many safety cars throughout the race, which, whether you pit or not, will be a lifesaver for your tyres to cool down, get a little bit of a rest, and then go again.
Yeah.
Tyres are in excess of 100 degrees all lap, every lap. And if you're not careful, you find some, maybe around 105, 106 degrees, you'll be cooking them. Ooh, DRS Julian's doing just that. Big twitch on the exit turn 6.
And Womax has just started his lap as well.
Yeah, let's jump on board with Womax when we see what the sector time for DRS Julian is. We'll jump onto Womax after. He's just coming through. Oh, Doris with a 30.2. He's just raised the bar. 9/10 is his gap to P2 at the moment. It's a cracking lap. That said, Rob Smith P2. He's stepped up from Tier 3 and he's really upped his game, it has to be said, in the Alpine. Fox River now, there's a man who doesn't like to be belittled, and that's a cracking lap, 30.1. DRS Julian's half a second up on himself. This will put him around 6th or 7th if he can keep it up. Into the final 4 corners. This chicane here is a tricky one. If you hit the curb too hard, you're in the wall. If you miss the curb, you're in the wall. Same with the final corner. Too much or too little curb, and you're in a wall somewhere. And DRS Julian goes P6. Fantastic lap. Now then, Womax, you mentioned, was on a lap. Let's see how he does in this final complex here. It's weird, you rarely get into 8th gear on this track, but this is one of the moments where you can, if you use a bit of battery, you can get into 8th gear.
Well, to be honest, even down to turn 1, I don't use
there.
8th. Down the second
P4.
DRS straight, I don't use 8th. Because it makes no difference.
No, it doesn't really help you.
Well, it doesn't do anything. You're pretty much at the end of the road.
Indeed. Oh, Hoseman's up on his lap, but he's lost a lot of time coming out the Anderson Bridge. Went very deep into the hairpin, and he's no longer down. Oh, he's lost time on his time, and that's not a great lock-up into the hairpin. I don't think this is going to be any better for Hoseman. He's got time to pit and put another set on, though. What's going to be interesting, though, with the dry race, who's going to gamble and put a set of softs on in the race, and who's going to go for the medium hards? Who's going to go for a 2-stop?
I was thinking about a 2-stop, but you're sort of gambling on a safety car then. I mean, it's not 100% nailed on you're going to get one.
Yeah, 2-stop here is slow. The pit lane's super slow, but if there's a safety car, then you can afford to gamble. Or as I found on Friday, if there's a VSC, don't do it. VSC is not worth it.
The undercut's so powerful as well.
You're looking 2 or 3 seconds potentially a lap.
Oh, absolutely.
On that first lap, and then onwards is a couple of seconds a lap for the next few laps. You find half a pit stop very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Alright then, 4.5.
Nimber is half a second up.
Let's have a look at him in the Red Bull. Just misses the curb that George Russell famously clipped in the real F1 race here. That was a huge moment. Oh, the Scottish rounds! Oh, on the Anderson Bridge, he is reversing. Oh dear.
Not getting the blade.
No, that's that's going on Maggie Thatcher. Oh dear. That's I'll be honest. So last time we raced in Singapore in qualifying, it was on the stream. I was on the first lap of qualifying, I binned it at that same corner, and I hadn't got a lap on the board. I started at the back, and it was in the rain. It was a disaster. The fact he's not DNF'd is really good for him. Yes, he's got very little time to get around and put another lap in, but he can just do it if he's quick.
Well, last season, if what turn is it? Just as you start sector 3, my front left just skimmed the wall and it popped off.
Easy done.
I couldn't believe it.
It's heartbreaking stuff.
I think will be the next to start a lap.
Yeah, we just jumped on board with him. He's giving us a little weave. He knows he's on the stream. He's in that beautiful Mercedes. And actually, you might like his helmet. Have a look at his helmet. It's a certain yellow-green
I can see it.
kind of variation, if you know what I mean.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that. I'm a fan. Speaking of fans, let's have a little cheeky look in the chat to YouTube. Let's see who we've got saying hello. And there's a familiar face straight away. Someone who you've been teammates with and someone who I've done many a comms with. Mr. Mark Simba Dennison says hello. Good to see you're doing well, mate. Monster's popping up with a bit of information and technical details. He's obviously missing the qualifying because he's on a quali ban. And he's the one who's fed us with the weather update for the race. And certain Joshua Manouche, I'm not going to repeat what he said, but he's saying that you need a booster seat. And hello to Calvin, of course. Last but definitely not least. Oh, and hello, Connor Hardy.
I'll get
hello
you
from hospital. Anyway. Well, anyway. All I'm going to say is, do you know the Muffin Man?
No.
Anyway. Now then, Doris is on his lap. He comes into the second sector checkpoint shortly as he comes around this corner, but he's flashing. I think he's aborted this lap. He's got enough time to start another one. Well, actually, the winner tonight will be dubbed the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man!
Who lives on Drury Lane. Anyway.
That's all you're getting.
That's it, yeah. Whoever wins will be the Muffin Man. So, Doris is aborting this lap. Let's find someone else. Wumax is already on our lap. Let's stick with Ilian, the man from Bulgaria. I don't know if Bulgaria's ever had a Formula 1 driver. Don't believe it has.
Oh, well, you know, I don't know.
No, I'm sure if anyone knows, Monster or Bit will know, but they're both in the car.
I thought he was from Hungary.
No, but Wumax is definitely Bulgarian. Fire J Rooster, who's had a crash. Where is he? Oh, he's gone out of turn 5, just before the DRS straight. Oh, that's a shame. He's down in 18th. Hopefully he can find something. Someone who needs to find Summons Bergen. He's not got a lap on the board yet, keeping us all in suspense.
I think he's just started one.
Yeah, he has, but he's just keeping us waiting. Let's see how Wumax does over the Anderson Bridge. Did you know about the gearbox sync problem going over the Anderson Bridge back in the early days of the Singapore Grand Prix?
No.
In the first few seasons coming here, there was a point on the bridge where if you downshifted at a certain point where the computer boxes were for the electronic signals, if you downshift at a certain point, it would shut down the gearbox and you couldn't restart it.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, it was a genuine problem that the drivers and teams found. Wumax has aborted his lap. He cannot improve. Let's see. DRS Julian has completed his lap, unfortunately. Oh, Foxtrot has been disconnected. He's on pole currently. Doris has invalidated. Eddie Dust is on a lap in the beautiful papaya orange McLaren. He's got a Lando Norris helmet and everything. Look, it's a bright yellow Norris helmet.
I'm just watching Bergen. He's a couple of corners to go.
Yeah, we'll come back to Eddie then. Let's have a look at the Bergmeister. Well, he's one and only flying lap in the Haas. What can he do? Round the final corner. And that is P9. Not bad for a one bang.
No, that's not bad.
Now let's see how Eddie does. And Eddie's aborted, I think. He was on a better lap, but he's aborted it.
Yeah, he has. He's 2 seconds down.
Yeah, that's a shame. And that, I mean, I think means Scottish Ninja's the only one. Nope, he's in the pit. He's completed the lap. Yeah, that's it. That's quality. So, Fox River hopefully gets back in the session. He is on pole position. Doris, 30.2, just behind him in P2. Then AS, 30.3. Then there's a 4-10 gap back to Hoseman, who's been a bit of the star performer so far this season in this tier. Leads the championship. He's P4 today. He's had pole in the previous 2 races. You won't be too upset with that. You can do something from there. And then the AlphaTauri duo of Gatian and Wumax take up the 3rd row of the grid. Can they emulate Daniel Ricciardo and have a good points finish? Jackster, P7, continuing his strong run of form. Rob Smith,
P8. He's done
P8.
a lot of whinging, hasn't he, Jackster?
He is.
P7.
He's done a lot of whinging about this track, and yet he's had a good quality again. We'll look at the timings in just a second. Okay, so yeah, Jackster P7. Rob Smith, continuing to impress in Tier 2, is P8. Bergen with a one-bang P9, and DRS Julian P10. Wazza is 11th. Boothie P12. Ghost Rider 13th. Scottish Ninja 14. Fanning 15. Bit 16. Dumbest Hornet, although it's actually Baby Hornet, is in P17. B17 is P18. That's not confusing. 19th for Fire J Rooster, and last but not least is Monster, who is on a quali ban. Ryan, who are you going to tip for your driver to win this race?
Looking at the times, I'm going to see Doris. Yeah, I'll go with Doris.
It's a good call. He was really quick on Friday.
He looked good on Friday. And
really good. And
he's done well there as well.
He's a quick guy. I'm going to go with Hoseman. I think from P4, he's still in a very good mix for this. So Doris and Hoseman are our picks. Let us know in the comments who you think could be a threat. And Monster, as always, is popping up saying his teammate had traffic. But you know what, Monster? Maybe you should have been out there getting rid of the traffic, if you know what I mean. Take out the opposition. No, actually, no, we don't condone that. Anyway, we're not Verstappen fans here. Now, thank you to Monster for letting us know that it's a dry race. That makes this nice and easy when it comes to strategies. And by easy, I mean slightly complicated. Because, of course, you've got the 3 compounds of tyre. Let's see who's starting on what. So, everyone... Well, no, I lie. There's a good, even balance of tyres. Softs, there's 4 drivers. And then medium and hard look to be fairly even split after that. So, it looks like most people are going to go for a one stop, sorry. Of course, the safety car might change that.
I think we'll get 1.
Oh, I think we're going to get 3. There's my prediction now. Safety car count is going to be 3.
I'm going to say 2.
Is a good shout. If there isn't one, it's
a fantastic race. Well done.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, it's a miracle. Faji Roosters still having issues with connection here. This is not good to see. The man on pole. Hopefully he can get back in.
That's Fox, not Faji.
Sorry, yeah, apologies. Yep.
I did invite you.
Oh, good lad. So yeah, there's the AWS strategy options. 1 stop of hard medium, 2 stop of hard double medium. You could go for a soft hard if you are crazy. And it's doable, but you're going to leave yourself with a lot of work to do. And you're going to gamble on a few safety cars if you do that.
He's joined.
Yeah, I think he has just rejoined, so that hopefully is a good sign. If his car unghosts, then we know it's worked. But we will wait and see for now. Hopefully he gets back in control. Now then. So this is a track we've been coming to since 2008, and with the exception of when COVID, of course, hit the world by storm, we've been coming here every year since. The track's becoming more and more iconic by the year, and frankly, it's becoming more loved by not just the likes of Red Car Rambo, but by other fans around the world as well. Although our resident King of Paul does often sit there at night thinking about this track, don't you, Ryan?
It's one of them tracks that it's on the bucket list.
Yeah, I'd love to go. And unfortunately, it looks like Fox River's comments in general track means he can't get control of the car.
Not just the track, it's the whole place.
Yeah.
Look, it just looks phenomenal.
It does. I'd like to sit on that hotel. It's got like the boat on the top of it that overlooks the city. I'd love to sit in there.
What we're doing if he can't connect to his car?
He's already put in here that he can't take control. Hopefully he can get control during the race. But for now, here is the light sequence. Finally we get a light sequence looking at the front of the grid. And the lights are lit. We are racing in Singapore. And, drive-through for Fox River, who's jumped the start, but there was no movement. He's got a drive-through, but he's not moving. Oh dear, that's a disaster for him. Doris leads in turn 1, Eddie Dust just behind him. And they are closely followed by Hoseman and the AlphaTauri duo of Gassian and Rumax. Jax to the Mona is in P6. Bergen with a great start up to P7. All over the back of the Williams.
I think I know what's happening, man.
What's happened?
It's done it to me before in Spain. When you rejoin, you try and do the gears, it changes your camera instead.
Oh dear, that's a disaster. We've got a virtual safety car. Fox River is out the session officially. That's a disaster and really a huge real shame for him. This will allow the drivers to bring their tyres into the race a little bit more gently. Real disaster for Bit, who's dropped down to P19 at that start there. And of course Monster's made a few positions, he's up to P17. Now then. This shouldn't be the longest VSC because it looks like there's nothing to worry about on track now. So when is this session going to get up to full speed? And nope, still virtual safety car.
I feel bad for Fox, you know.
Yeah, I do.
It's not his fault.
No, he's a fantastic racer. He's super fast, aggressive and fair on track always, and it's a real shame.
Do we restart?
And here we go. We're back racing. I'll leave that for someone to call on this. So for the time being, we'll wait until further instruction, but Doris leads proceedings at the moment. Eddie Dusty's just behind him. And it's quite clear already that this front three are looking to run away as fast as possible. We have a yellow flag as a Mercedes round, and that looks like it's Dumbest Hornet, which is actually Baby Hornet. But interestingly, Eddie Dust round the outside of Doris. Can he keep it on track? Just indeed on the inside of the curb. And that's P1 for the McLaren man. Great start to the race from him.
Have a look in the chat.
Copy. Okay, so we're seeing grounds for a potential red flag due to the glitches at the start, which is extremely unfortunate. So I am going to have to unfortunately call this is going to be red flagged, and we will restart this session shortly. Thank you and apologies to everyone. We will restart shortly.